So good day, my name's Kenneth Estep and I am a veteran. I served in 1976 to 79. During that time I served in the U.S. Army. I served as a military police officer at the post of Fort Ord, California. It was a wonderful time in my life. Making the choice to join the service was an interesting one, in that here I had gone through my education and I still hadn't really picked a career or knew what I needed to do yet. And my father had served in the Marines, and I felt this was a great opportunity to investigate that option as well, serve my country, and kind of stretch and grow a little bit. And it served that purpose very well. You know, one of the things as a veteran is always the honor when your children decide to take the same path. When Adam finished high school, like any good parent, I said, you got a little time to play, but then you need to make a choice of where you're going, you know, for your life and what the next step is. Adam chose to be in the Army, to follow the footsteps of his family. He did choose to be infantry, which was one of those discussions that we had, but he came to us and he said, Dad, this is what I've decided. I'm going to go in the service, I'm going to work towards getting my education, build up the funds necessary, and see where this takes me. And so we were very proud of Adam when he chose to go in. I remember very specifically March 12th, the day he left. I remember also I got the great opportunity to go and be there for his graduation from infantry training and to pin his infantry beret on. So as a veteran, being there, as a parent, being there and seeing the major accomplishment that our children make, and believe me, for Adam, basic was not easy. 17 weeks of training, of learning how to process his and manage his body to be a soldier, and he did. He did an exceptional job. He graduated, and I was very proud to be there. It's one of those pictures that's always in my mind, pinning that beret on and the tears in both of our eyes at that accomplishment. So it's an amazing thing when your children decide to do that. And Adam grew inside the service, amazingly so. You know, we stayed in touch via video online when he was on post in the U.S. and when he went overseas, we stayed in touch via the phone as often as he could call. In fact, he called us the night before we lost him in 2004. It was an amazing phone call. It was something that I'll always remember and cherish, because as a parent, how many times do you really take that opportunity to say, I love you, I trust you, be safe and be well? And those were the words that we gave him, and those were our last words to him. It's nothing I could ever replace, and I'm very proud of that moment, and very sorry that I can't give my son more words, but they were the right ones, and I'm proud of it. It was really impacting the loss of Adam to the family in oh so many ways. As I said, my father was a Marine, and he served in many conflicts, including Vietnam. And one of the, you know, when I called him and told him what had happened, he told me, son, I served so that no other family member would ever have to do this. I mean, the generations that have come before us are amazing individuals. You know, all the World War II survivors and what they've done, and my father and what he did. And those words that day, I served so that no other family member would have to. That's amazing commitment. And that's the commitment our soldiers give every day. You know, as a parent, you know, Memorial Day and other days are very hard. You know, you know, I thought that the grieving would get over quickly. You know, it's a process. I'm a process guy. Just knock it out. But that isn't the way it is. I mean, certainly the first part. But you grieve every day. It never goes away. You learn to deal with it. One of the ways that I've learned to deal with it is I consider it an honor to have raised someone to have performed at this level. You know, you always wonder as a parent, can you do a good job? And Adam has shown me that it's possible. You know, I got 2 more girls, and I hope to raise them, you know, to be as good as the children that I've raised already. All of them, because I'm proud of them all. Every day is tough, but I temper it with honor, and I temper it with humor. So, you know, as we get closer here to Memorial Day, you know, the meaning of it certainly is at the top of our minds. And for me, it has changed so dramatically since 2004. And so let me talk about a little bit about that, because I mean, certainly lost my son in 2004, and unfortunately lost my father 11 months later, a person who retired from the Marine Corps, served 23 years for our country. And you know, one of the things that was kind of amazing for me is prior to those losses, I was trained in my society, you know, Memorial Day was, okay, a day to recognize veterans. It was also the start of the barbecue season and so many other things, and that's wrong. You know, it is wrong for me. Memorial Day is absolutely about honoring those that have given the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Now, we don't have to spend a whole day for it, but it is a day that has been set aside for over 100 years for us to take this moment and think about those that have given that commitment. Think about those that have really just provided for us as a country. Memorial Day means to me now that moment to reflect on my son, my father, my grandfather, and the millions that have given the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms. I am raising a new set of children with those values. Now, Adam and Aaron were raised with those values, but that was through their association with ROTC, because I came out of an era where war was bad, service was bad, and we learned a good lesson as a country in those years to where now we aren't making that mistake. When we bring veterans home now, we bring them home with honor and with respect. And that's how we should treat Memorial Day, and that's how we should treat every member that serves in our armed forces.